Hi, this is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life. And today we are on week 15, day 3 of our positive, peaceful affirmations that we're doing Monday through Friday. Usually, if we have a holiday like Christmas, we'll probably skip that day and then go into Saturday. But most of the times we're doing shout outs 5 days a week on positive, peaceful affirmations to make our life happier, more peaceful, more joyous. We are following Dr. Susan Lawton's calendar, Positive Peaceful Growth Journey. Positive Peaceful Growth Calendar that you can buy at Aroma Tools or Oil Life. Okay, so if you're following us, you know that we always have an affirmation for the whole entire week and an affirmation for the day. The affirmation for the whole entire week is, I am confident in doing new things. Don't you love that? Don't you just, I am confident, when you say that out loud, I am confident, doesn't it just like make you a little bit more confident? I remember I was watching this TED Talk and they were saying that like when you put your arms up in like the high V formation, you probably can't see that, but in a very high V formation, you know, like what you see runners do or football players do when they've just scored into the end zone. Anyway, it's just natural. We went bowling as a family, and when my little 10-year-old Wesley, when he got a strike, like he's like, oh, you know. Anyway, so this researcher was showing that just standing in that positive, that like Superman pose, you know, it makes you more confident. They were saying that people who are looking for new jobs, before you go in to take a test, that standing in that pose can make you more confident. I'm all about doing anything that can help us be stronger and more confident, and kinder and better and nicer and all that jazz, more virtuous. So anyway, I think it's good. I think it's really, really good to say, I am confident in doing new things. Anyway, that's the affirmation for the whole entire week. You are going to love, I am super loving the affirmation for today, and that is, I am able to proceed with new patterns fearlessly. Okay, so that's the affirmation for today. Oh, sorry, that was the affirmation for Tuesday. The affirmation, wait. Yeah, no, that was the affirmation for last time. The affirmation for this time is, I am doing what is good for me peacefully. I want you to think about that. I am doing what is good for me peacefully. And when I was thinking about that, there was a scripture that just like popped into my brain. So I thought I'd share it with you. And it's, you know, you remember Paul in the New Testament, who is going about persecuting Christians. Like, he's horrible and very zealous. And Christ appears to him, right? And he says to Paul, Paul, it is hard for you to kick against the pricks, right? Which in my mind, I don't know how you translate that, but in my mind, that means why are you doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing, right? Why are you doing things that's contrary to the laws, the will of God, the laws of nature, good sense, right? Sometimes we do things that are opposite of good sense, right? We might eat after coming off of Christmas, we might eat too much, or we might choose to eat the wrong things, knowing that that's not the best for us, right? And so I want us just to think a little bit today, take some time to ponder, maybe journal today. Am I doing something that's kicking against the pricks? Am I doing something that I know is not good for me? Am I knowingly just being rebellious? Or also, am I not doing something that I really do know is good for me? Okay, there is that word in the affirmation. I am doing what is good for me peacefully. And I wanted to talk a little bit today too about peace. So we're just coming off of Christmas, right? Christmas was just yesterday, and coming down, the Christmas tree is still beautifully decorated with lights on it. Lights, and I don't know, just Christmas tree lights make me feel so peaceful. I look out my window. I'm in Utah right now. Well, I live in Utah, and the trees are just flocked with snow, just a light flocking of snow, and there's just like this gentle snow falling, which makes me think of that song. It's a Christmas song. Snow is falling, whatever. Snow on snow on snow. Anyway, I'll put it in the comments. It's a super peaceful song if you've never heard it. But there's a distinct difference between the feeling of peace that we get when we're doing something right and the feeling of agitation that we get when we're knowingly doing something wrong, or when we are knowingly procrastinating doing what we know we should do. So, if you are like me and you sometimes kick against the pricks, you sometimes maybe are knowingly rebellious, or maybe sometimes you're knowingly procrastinating something. Let's kind of stop that this year as we're thinking about the new year, right? Christmas is now behind us, and my thoughts are turning to, what do I want the new year to be like? Is that where your thoughts are going to? What do you want to create this year? And as I tend to think in songs. And as I think about what I want to create this year, or what will the new year be like, I'm reminded of that song from Sound of Music, where she's basically been told, hey, this Captain Von Trapp needs a governess, and she doesn't really want to go, but she's gonna go anyway, right? She's not fighting against what she needs to do. And she sings Maria Von Trapp. So Julie Andrews, who plays her in Sound of Music, the musical, she sings this song, and it goes, what will this day be like? I wonder. What will the future bring? I wonder. Anyway, and it goes on. Hold on. It goes on to say, it could be so exciting to be out in the world, to be free. Like 2020 could be so amazing and so exciting. Hold on just a minute. Okay, so 2020 could be so exciting, and it can be a year filled with such divine peace as we are intentional about creating that. Okay, so so I was talking about a little bit earlier, let's spend some time contemplating, am I doing anything that makes me agitated? Am I procrastinating at something? Some of the things that I thought about is maybe people have been procrastinating setting up a savings account or a retirement plan and saving for retirement, right? We all age, we all get older if we're lucky, right? And we need to make sure that our future is planned for and prepared for. So if saving money for your retirement plan is something that you want to start doing, or saving for your children's education, or saving for the house that you want to buy, whatever it is, in 2020, let's move forward and let's put our goodwill into action. Let's start saving for those things. Maybe I was thinking of other things that maybe sometimes people, ways that people kick against the pricks, or they just don't do what they know can bring them some profound peace. And so I thought maybe there might be some people out there that have been procrastinating going to church, or who've left the church of their childhood, and because it wasn't fulfilling to them, and have kind of just made a blanket statement that all churches just don't have what I need, which I don't think is true. Like, my church gives me a profound peace and so much joy and inspiration and community. So if if you've fallen out of the habit of going to church, I'm just going to say, do some thinking today, do some praying today about whether that might bring a whole new level of peace to your life if you go back to church. You know, spend some time doing exploring. I love my church. It's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And if you've never been to a service, visitors are always welcome. I'll put the link in the comments on how you can find a church near you. Okay, maybe you've been procrastinating. Maybe you've always wanted to be something, and you just feel this calling to be it, but you've been procrastinating that because of who knows what. Life sometimes just gets in the way, but you feel an agitation when you think about in the procrastination. So if you need to go back to school, if you want to go back to school, if that's where you're being called to, please, please, please do that. That would be absolutely wonderful. Okay, and then the one of the last things that I thought about that sometimes people procrastinate getting a better job. Like, they have a job and they're like, this job just really isn't cutting it. It's not doing it for me. It's not my life's calling. I really feel drawn to this other area, but they procrastinate doing anything. They procrastinate looking for a better job. I always think the best time to look for a job is when you have a job, right? So if you need more money and you love your job, go quit the procrastination. Let's go to our bosses. Let's say, hey, I'm a valuable player here in this business, and can I please be paid a little bit more what I'm worth? And hold on just a minute. Okay, so whatever it is that you've been procrastinating, let's stop that. I know that Fly Lady has an anti-procrastination day every week and maybe it's Thursdays, I don't even know what day it is, but every single week she does some deep thinking on what have I been procrastinating this week, and what do I need to do that's going to give me this joyous and peaceful feeling. Okay, as we're talking about peace, I don't want us to procrastinate having places of resort and having places of peace. So I'm reminded that in the scriptures that Jesus isn't always working. Like, sometimes he separates himself from his 12 disciples, apostles, and he goes off on his own to do his own thing. And I think that we need to have those places of resort that refresh our spirit, that help us connect to our dreams, our vision, help us connect to God. And so I was thinking of some things that give me peace. Some people find profound peace in getting out in nature. In fact, there have been so many studies nowadays that show that just getting out in nature lifts your spirit and calms your mind. Going to the temple, going to church, for me and for many, many, many people, millions of people, helps to bring a peace and a renewal of vision. So I'm reminded of this song. Again, I love thinking in songs. And there's a song that's called Up on the Roof. I think it's from the I'm going to say 60s or 70s, but the lyrics are, when this old world starts getting you down, okay, I don't remember the rest, but basically the guy goes on to talk about that up on the roof, it's joyous and peaceful. Some people find that same, and I'm one of them, some people find that same peace and relaxation when they step into a shower or a bath. So I'm just going to encourage us maybe today to journal too. not only on what do we want to change, what have we been procrastinating, how are we kicking it against the pricks, but also to journal about where are my places of resort, where are my places of peace, that when I have just had a super bad day or where troubles are just kind of hitting me one after another, where do I turn for peace? So there's a hymn that says, where can I turn for peace? Where is my solace? And it basically, who can understand? He only one. So it basically says Christ is the place of peace. Anyway, there's multiple places of peace. There's multiple ways that we can turn to peace. And I think it's good to have a whole lot of tools in our tool belt when it comes to getting peace. I know that when I have like a lot of problems in my hand, I'm like, oh my gracious, or on my shoulders, and I'm like, oh my gracious, how am I going to deal with all of this? Sometimes, okay, this is going to sound really funny to maybe some people, but this is one thing that I love to do. I love to turn on a Dick Van Dyke show. It's a show from, I think, the 60s or 70s, and that I watched when I was growing up, and it just takes me back to my childhood when my mom and dad were the ones in charge and they had everything under control. It just kind of brings that association of the other people are in control. And I honestly do think that we don't have to solve all of our problems on our own. It's good to do our work and our diligence in our study, but we don't have to solve all of our problems on our own, because there is a God and he loves us, and he's solving them on his end too. So we kind of have that parent still that's looking out for us. Okay, as we are thinking about, I'm going to read the affirmation again. I am doing what is good for me peacefully. And as we're thinking about going into the new year and making some of our New Year's resolutions into reality, right? One of the things I wanted to give you a hint on that. Well, actually 2 hints on that, maybe 3. Okay, so the first hint is to set your agenda in the morning every day, and then to pray about it. Like, hey, Heavenly Father, this is what I think should be my priorities today, but what do you feel? And then listening, and kind of maybe sometimes we have to rearrange some of our priorities. Maybe reading to our children was low on our list, but God knows that it needs to be a little higher on our list today. Anyway, whatever it is. And then doing the Covey trick, the Stephen Covey trick of scheduling our priorities. So we're making sure that our top priorities are getting done every day. Okay, so when it comes, we're going into the new year, so I wanted to give you 2 New Year tips on setting resolutions. I'm going to give you the first one that works for me and then another one. So the first one that works for me is that I try to pair 3 things that I want to change each year with a carrot. So a reward. If I do this, I get this. What I found is one of the best pairings for me is if I say that, okay, if I do this little thing, I get to give so much to charity, because I am much more likely to do something to give money to charity than to do something for myself. So if you can, whatever, you need to know you. So if you love philanthropy and you love giving to things, that might be something that could really, really help you. Or maybe you want to pair it with your vacation fund. Maybe you love going to see new places. So every single time you do whatever you're doing, or every single day that passes where you don't do what you don't want to do, like, go ahead and put $1 into, or whatever money you think is good, into your vacation account. And so you're rewarding yourself too. I want you to this year, let's all pair our affirmations with a reward. And my next tip is a little bit like this, although it's kind of like a carrot and a stick combo. So here's the deal. So let's say that you want to do something new. What we can do is we can give a certain amount of money. I'm going to say like maybe $300 or something, whatever it is, to a friend. and say, hey friend, I need a little mentor on this. So this is what I want you to do. Here is $300. Get them in $1 sections or whatever amount of money you want. Anyway, but I'll explain to you the concept. And then, okay friend, each day that I do something, I'm gonna text you, and at the end of the week, if I've done this, I want you to put that money back in my account, so you kind of earn the money that way. And then, but here's the stick. Okay, so that's the carrot, but here's the stick. If you don't do it, then the friend gets to keep the money. And I would definitely make it so that the money is big enough that you don't want to lose it, right? I mean, don't give away what you can't afford to give away, but give away something where you're like, ouch, I don't want to lose that money, right? And that might make it so that we actually hit some of our New Year's resolutions and patterns that we're trying to change. Anyway, I was watching this TED Talk on that concept, and the guy in the TED Talk said, oh, and I can be your friend for you if you want me to. And I thought that was so hilarious, because honestly, there's probably going to be a lot of people that fall out and they lose that money, but at least it's going to give them a little bit of a reminder. Anyway, those were two ideas that I had for you on keeping your New Year's resolutions to help you have a happier and more peaceful life. Okay, so you know that we always pair a song every single day with the affirmation that we're working on. And today's affirmation again is, I am doing what is good for me peacefully. And so I'm just going to pair it with the song, Where Can I Turn for Peace? That resonates with me. You might want to find a song that resonates with you. Maybe it's Up on the Roof. I'll put both songs in the comments. Maybe it's something else entirely. But I want you to find a song that pairs. I want us all to find a song that pairs for us when it comes to doing things that bring us peace. Okay, and then you know that we always, each week, we have a diffuser blend to go along with this, because aromatherapy can be so powerful in reminding us about the changes that we want to make. And the diffuser blend for this week is 2 drops of spearmint, which is the oil of confident communication, 2 drops of lavender, which is the oil of communication and calm, and 2 drops of lemon, which is the oil of focus. So today is Lavender's Day. I'm wearing a lavender dress, purple dress, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to be talking about some of the benefits of lavender essential oil. So the first thing that you need to know is, when it comes to aromatherapy, the number one oil that most people think of is lavender. And it's because it's used worldwide for its super calming effects, right? They're putting lavender in so many things for babies because it is so calming. And calm baby means calm mama, calm daddy, right? So lavender can be profound when it comes to creating calm. It's calming, it's soothing. If you can't get to sleep because you're worried, or if you can't get to sleep for who knows what reason, it is also so good for just putting on your heart area, putting on your feet, rubbing it onto your hands, smelling it, maybe sprinkle a few drops on your pillow. It's going to help bring that a restfulness, a calmness that can calm you into sleep. Okay, lavender is super good for the parasympathetic system. I don't know. Can you tell that science is not my forte yet? Anyway, parasympathetic system, it's the system that's in charge of the rest and digest. So I want you to always think of lavender with that rest and digest. Do you have a lot of things that are just hitting you one after another, and you almost feel like you don't have enough time to even sit and think about what's going on? Lavender can help. Do you have some issues or problems that you're trying to digest through in life? Lavender can help. Because it's so calming to our emotions, it can help us be calm enough to think through the things in life, to release the things that we need to release. It can really, when we're agitated, when we're anxious, when we're fearful, our thinking goes from our prefrontal cortex, which is where the intelligence kind of comes in, to like the back of our mind, the fight or flight stuff that where we don't always make the best decisions because we're making decisions out of fear or anxiety. So lavender can really help with that because it's so profoundly calming to the mind and the emotions. Lavender can help us let go of fears and insecurities. So so lavender is the oil of communication and calm, right? So have you ever wanted to say something and you have those fears or those anxieties and you're like, I don't know how it's going to be taken, so you almost don't want to say it, right? And sometimes maybe you don't say it and then you wish you would have said something, right? Or you just feel bad because you didn't speak your truth. Lavender can help with situations like that because it can help calm your fears and your anxieties. And when your brain is calm, you are much more likely to speak your truth. Okay, when I think of lavender, I almost want to just pair it with Brene Brown because she does so much on vulnerability, on saying that vulnerability is how we create connection, being willing to be vulnerable, and lavender because it's so calming to our emotions, it gives us the gift to be our authentic selves, to speak what we want to say, and to be just present the world with who we are, and that's a profoundly good thing. Lavender can help with that. So it not only can help us when we want to stay calm, so we can say what we want to say, but on the other end of the communication, it can also help us be calm. Like sometimes we're having conversations where some people are telling us what they think, and sometimes maybe they're saying, hey, when you do this, it affects me in this way that's negative. And when we hear that, sometimes we can get like super defensive, right? And then we start getting into our fight or flight mind, and our brain isn't working as good as it could. So lavender helps on both sides of the communication. It helps you when you're trying to speak your truth authentically and kindly. And it helps us to be able to receive what people are saying to us with the loving intent. Like if people did care about us, they wouldn't be saying, hey, maybe we should think about taking things to the next level, right? Because they wouldn't care. So when people are talking to us, it's only because they care about us. So sometimes when we're on the receiving end of some of these crucial conversations, lavender can help. Moms, dads, like when we're talking to our children and we're saying, you know what, really, you need to get your room cleaned. You know what, really, we need to raise some of these grains. It's where the path that you're taking is not a path that's going to lead to happiness. Lavender can help with the receiving of the message and letting that message be received with love. Lavender can help with that because it keeps us calm and it gives us the space to know that people are talking to us out of love. Okay, so I really quick on lavender, and I'm now flipping to this book, Essential Emotions: Your Guide to Process, Release, and Live Free. Just wanted to read you just a few sentences out of this. Lavender aids verbal communication and calming the mind. Specifically, it calms the insecurities that are felt when one risks their true thoughts and feelings. Lavender addresses the deep fear of being seen and heard. Oh my goodness, what if someone really sees me? Maybe they won't like me, right? Do we all have that in some form? I think so. Okay, and then lavender supports individuals in releasing the tension and the constriction that stems from withheld expression. This bottleneck of communication can result in worried and racing thoughts, anxiousness, and sleep deprivation. Due to past experiences, they may feel unsafe or fearful about expressing themselves because of potential rejection, right? Oh, we love people, right? We all love people, and we all want them to love us back. And so lavender can give us the peace to share our true thoughts so they can really love the real us. Okay? Lavender can address strong feelings of being unlovable, unimportant, or unheard. It can calm the anxieties so we can present our true self and feel the love coming back from others. You know what? Sometimes people are afraid, oh, you know what? My house isn't clean. Oh, if people knew the true condition of my house, they would not think well of me. They would not like me. You know what? Everyone struggles to keep their house clean. Sometimes, I'm going to say probably most everyone does. So let's start sharing our struggles. I think it's going to result in more friends and greater connection. Lavender can help in calming the fears of sharing those struggles. Lavender encourages emotional honesty and helps people speak their innermost thoughts and desires. Individuals can learn to communicate their deepest thoughts and feelings. Through lavender's calming effect, it can create a feeling of great courage in us that allows us to share our true self with others. So negative emotions that lavender can help with. Blocked communication, fear of rejection, feeling constricted or tense, having racing thoughts, emotional dishonesty, hiding, fear of self-disclosure, feeling unseen, unheard, unloved, or insecure. And the positive properties that lavender can help bring in, because it is so super calming, open communication, calm, being more expressive, emotional honesty, being more self-aware, because sometimes out of fear, we don't like to delve deeply into who we are. Lavender can help us know, you know what, we're not perfect. We're trying, we're not perfect. And it can give us it can calm us to the point that we can really look at who we are really and what we might want to change, and can help us know that we can change, right? So it can help bring a peace of mind. Okay, so going back to the affirmation for today, I remember one last thing that I wanted to say about the affirmation for today. Anyway, really quick, lavender, super amazing oil. In our diffuser blend for a reason. When we talk about doing new things, when we talk about doing new things peacefully, spearmint, confident speech, lavender, communication and calm, lemon, focus, those oils help us. Aromatherapy can be profound in helping us get where we want to get. Last thing I wanted to talk about, again, as we've just left the Christmas season, and we're all thinking about Christ maybe a little bit more than we usually do. And when we talk about doing things that are good for us peacefully, I just wanted to mention one of the names of Christ, which is the Prince of Peace. And we know that Christ was so loving and all that stuff, but I really wanted to focus on this one little aspect, perhaps of his name. Maybe he was the Prince of Peace because he always did what was good. He always obeyed the commandments. He always did what was good. And that brought him a profound peace that brought a profound love to everyone else around us. I believe that the more we keep the commandments, the more we connect to God, the more we can be princes and princesses of peace. And I don't mean to take anything away from God's name, but I think that God wants us to be like him. Christ commanded us to come follow him and be like him. And if he was the Prince of Peace, he wants us to be princes of peace and princesses of peace too. And doing what we know we should do peacefully and not fighting against what we know we should do will bring a peace to us and a peace to all around us. Okay, this is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, Living the Wholesome Life, saying that I know you can make it an amazing day. You can make it a peaceful day for yourself and for everyone around you. Okay, I know you can make it a great day. Bye-bye.